The movie was The Reliant.
Yes.
This was a one-night only event.
A Fathom event.
A Fathom.
was it?
Yeah, this will not be seen in theaters ever again.
That was it?
I think that was
it.
maybe the only showing of the movie.
The audience
think
we
it is.
saw there was it.
Well, I mean, in this theater, there's a number of theaters across the country,
Yeah, but
even
still.
across this area.
Yeah.
But yes, one night only.
Okay.
Which that movie that you guys watched, Trump Prophecies, also was started out as a Fathom event. It's a Fathom event, and then I think a month later or so, it's released on video on demand.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the Fireman Prophecies movie that we did, because this is a very much a sort of a sequel to that episode, because it's another movie that plumbs the depths of the insanity of modern suburban evangelical Christians.
It is a booby hatch up there.
I just want to comment on how much I've grown to appreciate the style of Christian filmmaking, where all the dialogue seems to be culled by Kafka prompts. Nothing said has any relation to the line previous or the line following. Characters just seemingly spring up. We said this during the movie, but this movie should have been called "Is this the guy or the other guy?" They're horrible, confusing. Just you lose every sanity point during these experiences.
Think about how cruel that is, considering the audience for this type of movie is going to be older. And old people already have a hard time keeping movie plots straight. How many times have you been with a relative watching a movie and had to try to explain it to them all the way through?
Yeah.
It's hard. It wasn't possible for us jaded, media savvy millennials. How the fuck could a boomer watch this movie and understand who anyone is?
I'm gonna disagree with you for a second, because I think to us, this movie was utterly baffling, and at almost any given point in the movie, we were characters on screen would say things like, "What's happening?" and then we'd be like, "Yes," and then the movie wouldn't answer, or "Who are you?"
Yeah,
and we'd be yelling the same thing at the screen. The movie did not answer. At no point could you clarify what the backstory, motivation, or relationship was between almost any of the characters on screen.
Inscrutable.
There were a number of there was at least a couple incredibly baffling gaffes and plot points in this movie that were mind melting to see.
Some real jaw droppers.
These movies, they're particularly powerful, I feel, because it's a more cops should be in theaters for these movies than the Joker.
There was a security guy.
There was one.
That cop is always at Court Street.
Yeah, he just loves movies. he doesn't even like to see him. He's just hey, say hi to the silver screen for me while you're in there. That's what he says. No one can tell him to stop. But yeah, every I would say for the first 75% of this movie, every scene ended with a character who seemingly just had no strict relation to another character. It seemed very fluid going, but why? And then just walking away, because that's what a Christian filmmaker thinks is poignant.
Well, but on the security point, I didn't hear the one you did about Joker, but just the general gist I've gotten. This is whatever. This is way more of a public hazard, this film.
Oh, yeah.
If people with any kind of problems go in and watch this,
See, this
they
is the kind
do
of
need
movie,
more security
this is the kind
services.
of movie where it seems off to a normal person. But if your brain is scrambled in a certain way, it vibes on your frequency.
Right.
And it's telling you
Yes.
something that we can't hear.
That's what I was going to
It's
say to you.
whistling at a different
Yes.
frequency.
That's what
activating you like Reggie Jackson in
I
fucking
must
Naked
kill
Gun.
the queen.
The movie was baffling to us, but to boomer suburban Christian brain, that movie is right on their frequency.
Because you don't need to know
And
the
it
characters.
makes sense to them.
Yeah.
Whereas they would see that movie and not be yelling at the screen.
That's true. You're right.
The best way to describe the experience of watching this movie is that due to certain circumstances, Brendan and Felix were about maybe 10, 15 minutes late. And because it was a Fathom event, there were no trailers, and the movie just started at 7 on the dot. Matt went to let them in the theater because the stupid QR code, blah, 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 blah. I was the only one in the theater for from the very first second of the movie to the end. At no point was I at an advantage to understand what was going on in this movie than you guys were.
We kept looking.
It was
at
a
you
completely,
why is that? I don't know.
completely level playing field as far as that.
True.
So
Inscrutable.
I guess the best way to start is just talk about what we thought this movie was going into it, and then reveal to you as best we can And like honestly, it will be difficult to re-piece together the plot by plot parts of this movie. That I will try to preserve some of the spoilers for you, and so you can experience them as we did going through it. But in the act of recalling it, I fear that we will be almost summoning its power, and the prophecy that this movie actually contains, and the grim omen that it portends.
Oh, by the way, I do I'm not going to give it away right now, but I have solved the key mystery to this movie.
Okay. I'm excited.
No, yeah, okay. Listener, like the doors will be unlocked.
Yeah, we've already lost all our sanity points. If you are mentally strong, you should listen to this episode. If you have problems, if you have wandering,
if you have reality issues,
if you have any of the common maladies our listeners have, like hysterical womb syndrome, bad vapors,
anxiety,
wind bone.
Yeah, wind bone,
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, milk blood. If you have any of these disorders, you should avoid listening. But we've given up any hope of a normal life after seeing this. But for those intrepid listeners who have the mental fortitude, the 3% of listeners who have a normal job who can withstand this, we will guide you through this, because together we have to solve the existential crisis of Christian filmmaking.
Okay, so we saw this movie again, a Fathom event at the Court Street Theater in downtown Brooklyn, which is for the audience for the one night event for this movie was empty.
Yep.
Just desolate. Not a single person
literally
in the
just
world.
us.
Yep.
Felix and I walked in, and we were like, all right, we got to find it. Let's just squint here and try to. And then it was just you guys in the middle of the
people
theater.
in Brooklyn, which I'm sure this is the only place in Brooklyn you could see this movie on this night alone.
Yes,
sure.
there were 2 in Manhattan and 1 in Brooklyn.
The only people out of millions insane enough to do this were us 4.
That's just how twisted we are, folks.
So again, a couple of months back, they saw the trailer for this movie, and people were like, "Oh my god, you guys got to do a movie episode about it," because it's a trailer that's like, what happens in a world where the Antifa take over, and there's images of people in black masks breaking windows and being implying that they'll take your guns, and then it's Kevin Sorbo is a father, one man who will stand against the Antifa hordes and with a gun stand up for his property, his family, and his God, and his religion and his faith. So we thought going into the movie this would be a fairly ham-fisted broadside or a shitty attempt to make a thriller out of a Antifa plotline with Kevin Sorbo as the hero of it, right?
Wait a minute. This isn't my world. Disappointed!
That is not what this movie is.
Oh, no.
At all.
No.
Oh, no.
At all.
No.
So
dear listener, it's something altogether different than that.
Again, without giving anything away, it basically becomes. I would describe this movie as what would happen if some sort of Christian ministry used a multi-level marketing scheme to get a script made by one of their kids who was trying to break into the industry, and then Felix, as you said, every evangelical ministry has one person who's I own all the copper in America.
Yeah. I go to this church that is obviously used to be a Lowe's. Yeah. But I own it's somehow legal for me to own all the hospitals in the state. I have $17 billion. Of course I'll make your movie called Hope Came Through.
I own 15 water parks. All of them are being sued for people getting Legionnaire's disease.
Yeah. I am the Eric Prince of the hot tub industry. Of course I'll make your movie.
Okay, if that type of person financed a movie that was a hokey evangelical Christian attempt to make a PG version of essentially Cormac McCarthy's The Road,
right? Imagine,
but have an uplifting message at the end of it.
Cormac, of course, literal Cormac McCarthy's The Road, if it was PG Christian, would be me and my son. We just want to see the Grand Ole Opry. Before we die, we want to see Jason Aldean.
It is PG-13 technically.
Okay, there was some violence.
There was a fair bit of violence.
Yeah.
Not all of it seemingly connected to anything that was depicted on screen.
So I think we need to do a forensic reconstruction of what happens in this movie as best we can remember it.
Yeah.
While it's fresh in our minds. So
I've been thinking about it since
I'm the only one that saw it from the very, very beginning. So I'm the only one who holds this cursed knowledge. the very first scene in the movie is star of Stone Cold, Brian Bosworth, busting into an ER room, emergency room, saying, "My daughter, you got to help my daughter." Like there's been a car accident.
Yeah.
And Kevin Sorbo is the surgeon on call at the hospital who rushes the daughter away. But again, star of Stone Cold, Brian Bosworth is very agitated and upset after Kevin Sorbo asks him how much have you had to drink today? Clearly he's some shitheel asshole who's just like driven drunk and almost nearly killed his daughter or whatever. Right. And they're like, I'm gonna ask you to stay here. And then like hospital security is like, sir, if you resist us, like we will put the cuffs on you. He then Boz Stone Cold gets in like a fight with like the hospital security guard, reaches up for officer service weapon, pulls it out, and is like, "Let me see my daughter. I need to see my daughter right now." And then like he's talked down not by Kevin Sorbo, but like just like some random guy you'll never see again, not in the movie at all.
Well, this is like I've actually seen a lot of Christian movies. I am a Christian, sure, but like this is a key feature. Like they, like in godless Hollywood. Because they don't have God, they have to have a bunch of bullshit rules so they won't immediately kill themselves every day. One of these rules is Chekhov's gun. Like if you show something, you have to show it later. Christians, nah, no way. One and done, baby.
Yes. I just realized there's a bunch of not fired guns in this
goddamn crossbow,
and the sword.
Oh yes!
So
what the fuck?
Okay, so just to validate Felix's point,
yeah.
So in a Christian movie, during like the thing that sets off every event that happens, there will be like a character, right, who talks a guy down or like saves someone's life, and the camera will linger on them for like 5 entire seconds, and you'll be like, wait, what role does this person play later? And it's like, none. They just kept that shot too long.
Yeah. Okay, was that Eric Roberts?
No. The only thing you've seen so far, Brian Bosworth is a shithead, asshole, piece of shit.
Who grabs a cop's gun.
Who grabs a cop's gun because he was driving drunk and killed his daughter or whatever. And Kevin Sorbo is they rush the kid off. You don't know what happens to the kid.
Right.
Kevin Sorbo is just the surgeon who's just like, get this man out of here. I will save your daughter. Bosworth is talked down. They're like, think of your daughter. What would she want? And he's like, my faith. And he says, my faith.
Oh.
So you think his daughter's name?
You think it's his daughter's
something like
name.
that? Like, and then like he puts his gun down, and then he's arrested, and he goes. I guess and then it just cuts. That's we don't know what happened to the daughter. We don't know what happened to him. It's like 7 years later.
7 years later.
After that, it is we open on suburban home. It's with Kevin Sorbo as the dad, and he has like I forgot how many
47
kids.
Children.
Yeah.
He has every time the camera pans, it finds a new kid.
They're budding.
Yeah. He gets wet and throws him off like a mogwai.
The only way like a actual person could have that many kids at Sorbo's age is if like they were hatchlings. Like if he literally laid eggs and like sat on them with his warm gun.
Okay, so it is there is I think the eldest daughter, again, this is very, very
we're in shaky waters from this point on.
Okay. There is what I assume is the eldest daughter who is in the house with her fiance.
Yeah.
And she's looking at a wedding dress and she's like, "Oh, like I'm not gonna show you. Like, my wedding day is gonna be the first day you see me in this dress." And he's like, "Okay, like
Christian dance. I want to say the guy looked like a Tom Cruise Halloween mask. He just kind of looked like Tom Cruise, but off. Several iterations.
He looks like if the Chinese got some of the technology to make Taylor Lautner, but not all of it. And they're like, we can't bring this to the battlefield. It's just not good enough. It's not that it will get destroyed by the real Taylor Lautner.
That's not who he's
sell it
he's
back to
thinking
the
of
Americans.
Yeah. You're thinking of the other kid.
Which one?
He's thinking of the James Spader kid. That's the one.
No. The fiance.
Yeah.
Although this is starting to uncover the problem of the film, is that we don't know if someone at any given point is a boyfriend or a brother or a dad.
Cousin.
Yeah. This is like, I feel like Christians have spent the last decade inventing a new type of uncle, and that relationship was present in this movie. Where it's like,
I'm your nephew roommate.
Okay, this is as best I can reconstruct it. Like I think like the eldest daughter maybe is there with her fiance.
Okay.
And like they're thinking about getting married soon. Then we're introduced to, I guess, the elder brother. I don't know if he's older than the sister or
like
otherwise.
a young James Spader.
Yes.
Okay. He's playing chess. He's dressed like Kelvin Gemstone.
Yes.
Like Matt, as you pointed out.
This is the pissed brother, right?
Yes.
The pissed,
Yes.
right?
He's got the shirt. He's got the
From
weird
here on
beanie
out, he
hat.
will be referred to as the Pissed Brother or the James Spader Brother.
The Piss Brother has like a sick collection of Henleys, and like Henleys, as you know, the best shirt to punch a wall in. Like they allow
I'm
enough of
wearing
your
one right
pectoral
now.
to be open.
I'm actually repping Henley's at this moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
then he is shown playing chess with his younger brother, who's like quite a bit younger than him.
Yeah.
So it's easy to tell.
Like the pissed brother and fiance sister is definitely past puberty. They're young adults. Okay. Then there's like another tier of children.
Yeah, there's a second. There's a second tranche of siblings.
You package these into tranches, and then you sell them, and you make money.
There's a younger sister, and then like a middle sister in there as well. All of this very.
Who looks sort of like an Aldi brand Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Who's as Matt pointed out, is probably like a Christian YouTuber who has like is one of the 3 most famous people on earth. She has 700 billion subscribers.
We never
That's the
saw her
family,
before.
generally speaking.
That's as best I can remember it. It's like the
then there's the
brother. The
mom?
brothers are showed playing chess, and then like on a TV screen, like that frames them, like you see what like a cable news feed, and you just see footage of like people in black, like mobbing in cities and just like looting
riot,
and like implying that like
civil unrest.
they're like in the cities, like like it's like small rural towns have like held out or whatever.
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
you
God.
still got the producer gene.
Okay.
Yes,
A lot like
society's
that.
breaking down because, again, what are I would say loosely coded as Antifa type.
They
like
give
black
it a
bloc,
little bit of a gloss.
or like an Occupy kind of thing. But like again, listener, it may come as a shock to you. Like the movie actually spends almost no energy or time actually being about Antifa.
No, they don't even call them that. They just call them looters.
Yeah.
This is one of the least political movies of the year.
It's really kind of
It's
true.
higher
It's
than that.
bizarre.
Yeah,
It has a politics to it that are insane, as we'll get into, certainly as relates to guns, the Second Amendment, and God.
Yes.
But like as far as specific like Sean Hannity or like the
no
type
talking
of
points.
like talking point specific grievances against like liberals or like
Not really,
politicians
there's a few
or whatever.
thrown off lines.
It's like Salafist in that way, where it's like there is a politics, but it is located in a more like an untainted spiritual. Like the battle is between like the religious.
It's a spiritual,
the
spiritual
drama.
warfare.
Yeah. There are a few scattered things.
it's
There's a
not-
little
it's
bit of
not-
red meat to keep you interested, to keep the MAGA guys perked up. a
So
little.
then it turns out that it's the Piss brothers' birthday. And they all like whoever's in this family. Again, I have no idea. Or cousins.
It's a giant
Do we know
group
the
of
family's
people.
name?
Again. At no point in this movie is the family's name ever.
No,
said.
they say it. It's-
Really?
Well, they say Sorbo's name, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, like I feel like people are in this family on like a temp basis.
Yes.
And like the fiance sister, she's like a permanent hire.
Right.
The younger kids, they're experimenting
They're
with them if
interns.
they'll cut them loose or not.
Yeah.
And none of them like look alike either. So they might as well be
not
running
at
like
all.
a foster home or whatever.
Yes.
So it's Piss Brothers' birthday. And then like they put this disgusting looking cake in front of him. And they're like,
Oh, God,
cake
it
and
looked
presents.
like a
They're like cake and
rotten
presents. And they're like
tooth.
presents. Like again, this guy is like getting to the age where you shouldn't be like having a birthday party
it's
with
his
your
21st
family.
Birthday, and he
Getting
looks older
20.
than that.
Yeah, exactly. It was his 21st birthday, and then his dad gives him at the dinner table, like, get that cake out of the way, pushes it away instantly, opens up a big, long box, and it's like, just got him a rifle.
Yep.
30-06.
Yep.
The fiance sister sees this and reacts very poorly, and she's like, how could you do this? Like, on her birthday, too, implying, like, ooh, like, whose birthday? And, like, there's, like, what? Like, Matt
I
latched onto
intuited it
this.
instantly due to genius, but they don't really reveal it until about like 2/3 of the way
That there's
through.
like a
or halfway.
A rupture.
like a rupture in this family, or like something
Someone's
going on here. Like, and the daughter is very against him being given this gun
and
as a
she's
present.
triggered, pardon the pun, by firearms.
Yes.
Exactly, and then like okay, so and then Sorbo's like, oh come on, honey, like then he's like, how about just us men? Like we'll go to the ammunition store, we'll get some ammo. And we'll go to the range and just shoot this out.
Just guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes. Like forget this cake. Like again, that's forgotten.
Yeah,
or the other presents or anything else.
Cakes for my 17 daughters to eat while I'm away.
So just the family men.
Yeah, the men are going out on a little.
They get in the pickup truck and they go to the local like ammo store, like shopping mart.
Your ammunition superstore.
Yeah, like what looks like a giant shopping.
Felix and I have not. This is all news because we were not here yet at this point.
You guys tell me when, like, your consciousness of this movie picks up.
Curious when we're going to get to where we were when we
I will say, without spoiling too much, we got in during Bosworth Siege. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah,
so we're almost there.
Okay, we're almost there. Like, it's only like, again, 5-10 minutes of the movie has transpired. Sorry it's taking so long to get through, but I mean, there's a lot to process.
We need to set up the
So they go to the ammo store, and like, there's some light joshing in the car about the fact, like, when you're married, like, your vows are forever, son, and like you're not, sometimes she's not gonna wish she married someone else. Sometimes you're gonna wish you married someone else, but like, you just think of your vows and like, you know. Hold fast, and he's like, "Oh,
beat off in the basement."
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Dad. All right, so they get to the ammo store, and who do they see there? But none other than the legend, the Pope of Greenwich Village himself, Eric Roberts.
That's right,
Eric
the talking
Roberts.
cats himself.
I mean, a guy who's been in, he's been in a lot of shit, but he's been in some like
classic
masterpiece
films.
movies.
Yeah. They're gonna take my thumbs.
He's worked with P.T. Anderson, I mean, just a cult icon who
absolutely star 80.
Best of the best.
Oh yeah,
just hit after hit. I'm sure he's in this movie for
Julia Roberts' brother.
Yeah. He's in this movie for probably 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's blink and
he shows up as the manager of the ammo store, and then immediately as soon as they're shopping, there's like a mob outside, like throwing garbage cans through the windows. They're looting, gets on fire. They're like
they're dressed in black. They're carrying signs with different things on them. One of them says just disobey. One of them says something about Occupy. There's one about corporations. Yeah. It's clearly supposed to be coded as an Antifa left-wing protest.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, all the actual guys in the mob are, because these are the people they could get, presumably, are 50-year-old wraparound sunglasses, YouTube in your fucking front seat of your car, MAGA guys.
Yes.
Like
Screaming
big,
guys.
burly, middle-aged white dudes.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be Antifa.
When like the supermarket ammunition store gets attacked for the first time, it looked like an episode of Sons of Anarchy. Like
absolutely.
It looked like Sam Crow.
The first guy through the door was this huge round motherfucker in a fucking motorcycle cut.
Yeah.
I don't think that's realistic.
So Sorbo, like, it's like, oh, the shit has hit the fan. Like, protect your family, protect your life. Like, get to the car.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, like, and then like they're assaulted by some toughs, including like an Antifa guy who's wearing a cowboy hat who becomes the main antagonist of the movie.
He's an Antifa cowboy.
And like they're banging on the windows, and he's like, I will defend me. He's already unholstered his sidearm.
Sure.
And he's like, I will defend myself. And he's like, well, you can't shoot all of us. And he's like, you really want to take that chance? Yeah. And I think he does shoot someone at one point.
He shoots somebody, and then they drives off.
They drive off. Again, cut. Back to the household.
Yep.
And they're like, this, like, children, like women, daughters, sisters, cousins, roommates, whoever else is in this house.
Find your safety uncle. All women are assigned to their uncle, who may also be their cousin. If you cannot locate your cousin, please find your brother-in-law, which could be any of the men at the house at this given hour. Again, we will figure out the relations of this family after this emergency.
And Dad, Kevin Sorbo, is like, this is what I've always told you about. Grab your go bags. And then like his pissed brother was like, I need my box. And he's like, fuck your box. Essentials only. Then
he goes.
Then the fiance daughter runs back into the house, and then like will become an incredibly important plot point that will pay off in a way that is magnificent. She takes a key from her family and hides it in her bedroom in like a jewelry box.
And Sorbs starts yelling, "Where's the key to the gun safe?
Where's the key
because
to the gun
because they've
safe?
got he's got pistols, but they've got ARs and shit, like
real
heavy
shit.
capacity stuff in the gun safe, but he can't find the key.
Oh, so she hides during the attack?
Yes. Okay, so like while they're doing their getting their
he hates guns.
Okay, this is I think when you came in, while they're grabbing their go bags and just being like everybody like get in the car, like this is it, like the Antifa is here.
Civilization has fallen apart in like 4 minutes.
Has completely fallen apart.
That's funny.
Total anarchy.
Like 40 guys showed up at a fucking 5 and dime, and civilization ended immediately.
Because 5 minutes previously, everything was fine.
Everything was fine.
It
was 0 to 60.
It was like supposedly a television set.
Yeah,
was supposedly
there's riots in other cities or whatever.
But like so far, like rural suburban communities, that sort of type has mostly stayed away from them.
Sure, I got you.
But then like as soon as they go to the supermarket, total chaos. Society over. no police, no EMS, no fire department,
no
nothing.
media. It's all
Just,
over.
like, everything. It's like it's like Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Basically.
It was. It looked like
yeah.
it, except with CGI smoke and fire.
Yeah. So while they're doing their go bags, the Bosworth siege begins.
Yep.
This is the battle. He's like the Battle of Blackwater. He's Bronn.
Yeah,
And like
So he posts up with his fucking sniper rifle next to the cowboy hat Antifa guy,
Right.
who has like a Winchester lever action old time Western gun. So he's like a literal cowboy, but Antifa,
and he's doing all accents of the
he
region.
is doing every accent in the South.
At all times.
They combine in such a way that you could only describe it as like Cajun New Yorker.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then Boz shows up and he posts up with his rifle and he's just like, I'm gonna get that doctor.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him feel my pain.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, what? Like, did his daughter die or what?
Does he blame her for
And this
the
is
daughter
like very
dying?
weird. And he's like scoping out people, like, and it's just like shit's popping off.
Oh, yeah.
And then like through his telescopic lens, like the rifle sight, he finds the youngest
family
daughter.
Sorbo
daughter.
She's about 7.
Yeah.
And then immediately sees behind her like a glowing angelic.
There's a
vision.
purple star wipe
Yes.
that happens, and then this other daughter
And it's
shows up.
Floating woman, girl who I couldn't tell if it was the same girl. I guess
It's
not. But it was very difficult.
very
to tell apart.
unfair, unclear to what
Very unfair.
Yeah.
This movie is very unfair to the viewer.
Yeah.
And then he's sort of weirded out, but then again, God, an incredibly long story short. Kevin Sorbo just gets like fucking gunned down immediately.
Yeah. This is
like,
5 minutes in.
Mr. fucking Castle Doctor defending his home. Brap, dropped.
Like again,
Ballsy move. He has the shittiest reflexes ever.
Well, he's got them, like, he knows where they are, and he turns the corner, and he goes, hey! And I really thought, because it's Kevin Sorbo, this is how it's been advertised, he's going to just, brrr, and then they shoot him immediately, and he dies. And then, like, I think they somehow die as well, but he goes out with no dignity
It
whatsoever.
would be one thing to say he got the jump on them and, like, missed, but, like, it's more like Kevin Sorbo's character could have woken up at the foot of his attacker's bed with a gun in the guy's mouth. Like, the guy could have just woken up with his barrel in his mouth, and he still would have gotten shot and died.
Correct.
So sort of like maybe because he couldn't have got the chopper from like the gun safe.
Right.
Maybe
You're so lucky I don't have my good gun.
Yeah, but-
I wouldn't have taken 12 minutes to process you being right in
But the
front
funny
of me.
thing is, like, the dudes who shoot him are using like bolt action rifles,
Yeah.
and he's got a
He
fucking
gets-
big ass handgun, and he gets owned by them.
He gets no
Like,
scoped. He gets no scoped. He gets no scoped by like guys his age, which so he can't even be like, oh, they have better reflexes than me. They beat me at the gunfight. It's like
It's true. Bosworth's older than him.
yeah.
So he dies, which sort of sets the tone for the rest of the film.
I mean, ballsy
It
move by
reminded me
by
of
the marketers.
Executive Decision.
Yes,
Which was
exactly.
marketed as a Steven Seagal movie, and he dies in the first act.
right.
I mean, maybe similar to Executive Decision, Kevin Sorbo was also killed off in this movie because he psychopathically abused everyone on the set until he was fired, like Steven Seagal did in
I believe
Executive
it.
Decision.
I believe that's what happened.
So anyway, what was originally marketed as a Kevin Sorbo versus Antifa movie, within the first 10, probably 10, 15 minutes of the movie, that premise obliterated. Gone.
Right.
The kids, all the daughters, and I guess one other brother,
Yep.
run into the woods. Again, by woods, I mean like the middle of their...
Yeah, like it's like that piece of shitty scrub wilderness next to a recent tract of exurban development with a bunch of mini McMansions, and then just like a little shitty fucking little glen with some fucking sparse ass trees.
A couple square feet.
That's it. And so this whole movie felt like it was shot in a suburb of Cincinnati.
It's like a Star
Butler
Wars
County,
fan film
Ohio.
where they're just like, yes.
And that's what we found out. It was fucking shot in Ohio.
Matt called that.
I called that. I know my Midwestern shitholes.
So it's an Ohio suburb, basically.
Yes.
That these kids, again, the kids go in the woods, and then it becomes like a sort of survival. And it's
Oh,
just
and then the
family
mom.
violence.
The mom
Okay,
gets taken.
the mom and then the fiance are
get
left
caught.
behind at the house,
And they get caught by Bosworth / Antifa cowboy.
It was Bosworth again. This is when the Antifa plotline goes away entirely, because at this point, these people are just basically marauders.
Yes, right. Yeah.
They're just sort of
There's
like
no ideology.
Yeah, exactly. No ideology. Society has crumbled. These are like dangerous, violent, like men, aggressive men, like out to kill you, rip you off, steal your shit just to survive and move forward, etc. No political ideology whatsoever. And And then Brian Bosworth Association, Felix, did sort of remind me of like Dan Quinn and his gang. Like, what's the Vagos? What's the one he tries to?
Very Vago.
Yeah,
because they were completely derelict.
But like a past middle-aged man.
Yeah, Crazy Joe was in his 50s when he entered his final storyline with Dan Quinn. Like this is all. I do at several points during this movie. I turned to Brendan and said, "I respect Christians so much. Maybe they like will beat Islam."
Yes,
because their vision of the world is so powerful. Like they believe that there are like gangs of 50-year-olds who look like them.
Yes.
Like they believe in like rough characters. Like they basically believe the gangs of the 50s and 60s, like white guys who sang songs, like just never left the gang life, and they have half century of experience.
Yes, they're ready.
Yeah, and when society collapses, they will fucking take it out on you.
Into action. Yeah,
The mother, we don't, again, totally unclear what happens to her.
Well, they show her and the fiance get caught. They're like, we're gonna get him, and Bosworth wants the kid. The cowboy hat guy shot the youngest daughter.
The youngest daughter gets shot.
And Bosworth got furious because he got like fixated on her.
Right.
But she's not dead. She's like injured.
Which is hilarious because,
Right.
First of all, the girl is probably 7 years old and gets shot like through the gut
Yeah.
with like a 30-06 rifle.
Yes.
And they just carry her off into the woods.
Drag her into the woods.
They drag her into the woods and sleep in a fucking teepee for like a month.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so the mom and the fiance are in the custody of Bosworth and the guy, but then it just ends.
Right.
It cuts off and then it says 1 month later.
Yes.
And we're with the kids in the woods.
Yes.
Living in teepees, and somehow the little girl with the bullet in her stomach is still alive.
yeah, and doing fairly well.
Very well.
She has like a bandage on her head, and she's
Yes.
like.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're like,
It's like, lady, you're perforated.
Yeah.
You got sepsis like a month ago.
But really, this is
you
where
smell like Lindbergh.
as much as all that stuff was necessary to set up, there really isn't a lot of plot for the rest of the. We can kind of branch off now, 'cause
No.
really the rest of the movie, except for the very end, there's obviously a climax. There is no real plot after this. There's just a series
they're wandering
of moments.
around.
As I described it, it's like it's wandering around in the forest, and like at this point, the movie, like what we thought was the initial premise, Kevin Sorbo versus Antifa, gone entirely. From then on, it becomes a movie about like a guy who has too many sisters.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Sisters, fiancés, sister fiancés.
They go in the woods, like probably like I don't know, a half mile from like where their suburb was just being looted by roving gangs.
Yes.
And they
like,
lived there a month without being
covertly, like hunting in the forest with bow and arrows.
Yeah.
Really
They're-
rather openly. They have like a giant teepee and they cook all the time.
fires.
It's incredibly easy to spot them.
Yeah.
And I guess like the Dr. Melfi's couch of this movie is the campfire.
Yes.
Because the campfire is where we get all the not expository, because it literally teaches
The
you nothing.
relationship stuff.
Right. It's just stuff like the God sisters are like, God is nice and he wants us to be nice. And then the pissed brother's like, then why did God make bees? Like, even though he's watched,
Oh God, that was so funny.
even though he's watched his entire family die, he's like,
watched his
oh yeah,
dad
then why did God make Mondays?
Okay, like
His dad got ventilated in front of him.
no, wait, what was the line where
He
like
said stinging nettles.
oh
Yes.
yeah, no, they were like, oh, like why did God create stinging nettles? And it's like, why did God let your parents just get murked?
You saw it,
just,
like,
you're living in the woods
you
now.
saw
Like,
your,
it's the
like,
apocalypse,
you-
you fucking idiot.
You saw your like 5-year-old sister just get like shot in the head, and you're just like, well, why doesn't God make lunch last longer? You fucking idiot.
So really, there's not a lot to talk about plot-wise because the rest of the movie, with like a couple scenes that we should address because they're super funny because more characters get introduced and you're more confused. It's just that
So confused.
It's just that it's the campfire / like someone's setting a trap or whatever in the woods, but it's just theological debate / character work between the brother who's pissed and hates God and keeps getting more pissed at God the more the movie goes on, and then the sister who there's an obvious backstory with. She hates guns. Struggling with something. I don't really know. Forgiveness, I think, is her thing.
Yeah, she got to forgive her brother for something we'll find out,
Yeah.
and forgive her fiance for
joining.
Okay.
the-
Okay, yeah, no,
and-
because this is the next scene. This is probably the most This is really when I started hemorrhaging sanity.
God.
So
this is when it just started really. Because we had a vague understanding of what was happening until this happened.
So okay, at this point in the movie, like the brother is like, we got to go back to our house again. Like it's a 5-minute walk.
That's fine.
Like
if you were like,
we got to go back to the house.
Yeah.
And like his idea is like we'll get the key or like salvage the guns in the safe so we can use like it's a big cache of like, weapons and ammo that their father, whose motto was always be prepared, has like sort of bequeathed them even in death.
Which is ironic given the later revelations about the father.
So like they go back to the house. To sort of like, just sort of like
find the key,
loot for supplies, do some crafting, like up their like armor.
Maybe sleep in a bed to save their game.
Exactly.
Buy a new vest.
So wait, you guys are gonna have to like sort of help me with this. Does the sister find the key, or do they realize in this moment that the sister hid the key?
She goes to get the key, and then the brother finds her with it and says, "Did you hide the key?
Yes.
Dad's dead because of you, you harlot."
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's yelling and crying.
Incredibly important, like the hidden key.
Yeah.
So important to this.
And then they cut to him going to the.
He goes, "This was the key to the gun safe."
And now Dad's dead because he couldn't get the guns. She's like, "I'm sorry, I hate guns because of our dead sister."
Yeah.
And then it cuts
Spoiler
to.
alert.
We will tease it. We're teasing it.
Okay.
They cut to him finally finding the safe, and the motherfucker uses a combination lock.
He doesn't use the key at all.
No, it cuts from that like the key. Yes,
and
key.
he does the combination on a combination lock
on its side on the floor, and the camera lingers for a good 10 seconds of him jiggling the dial of a combination lock, and then just turns the fucking thing,
and the door opens
it up, and then takes the guns out.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Amazing.
It was just amazing.
And it's not like in some weird way that like the key meant like a piece of paper with the combo on it. She's holding a key.
It's a key.
A physical
It was
MacGuffin.
a physical key.
It's a MacGuffin that they needed, and then they get it, and he's like, okay, forget that. I'm just going to open it with my hand.
This is like, at this point in the movie, this is when I started thinking like, what if this is actually like a brilliant art film? Because it's like our father died because we didn't have the key. We're having a huge fight because of the key. We've been living like in a super fun pond scum site because of the key. We never needed the key.
Yeah.
Why did my dad look for the key? This is all pointless. Our lives are meaningless.
Yeah.
We sit around this shitty campfire just having the
guessing
worst
each other's relation to each other.
We're all each other's uncles.
Oh, Christ.
None of this makes sense. And that's what I was like, if this was an art film, like this would be genius.
Oh, Christ. I totally forgot with the Piss brother, in addition to running back like during the initial Bosworth siege, he runs back to get his box and his samurai sword.
Gets the Hanwei forged steel katana.
He needed a sword. My blade must be protected and must need that time.
So again, like another thing, like oh man, I bet I can't wait to see him.
He was gonna.
I can't wait to see him pull out that sword and like lay some justice or defend his family or scene with the sword. I can't wait to see that happen.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Never.
Spoiler, never happened.
They used the fucking scabbard as like a tourniquet binder at one point.
Yeah, that's it.
Just pathetic.
So then
because there's probably like, if you were Christian, you'd be like, oh, that's Ephesians 3:82. The hilt of the sword can be a bandage instead of a blade. There's probably like tons of shit we missed.
Oh,
in this
exactly.
movie.
Oh, yeah,
That's
there's
like
a lot
weird
of
Christian references that like, if a Christian saw this, they'd be like, oh, there's so much in this.
Yeah.
And we godless. We
just
see
fucking
this.
heathens.
Yeah.
We're just like, none of this
We're like
makes
the
sense.
gremlins watching fucking Cinderella.
Like again, we're sort of like not of the book. So,
Right.
Like, this movie's again totally baffling. In every way.
Christians that is another thing I noticed in this movie. Like they say a ton of axioms and like sayings that I'm sure like people, whatever kid in this church wrote this movie, his or her family says, but just make no sense.
What was the one about like the gavel and the fork?
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to put down a gavel and pick up a fork?
Okay, no, okay. So at this point in the movie, they're still in the house. They've looted the house and got a weapons upgrade and several packs of ammo, a med kit. You know, like
Minis.
They got minis.
Yeah.
I feel like they're doing pretty good. They got a blue scar from the same.
They made good rotations.
So that like they go back upstairs, but then there's like oh, like there's some people with guns outside, but like you're like, oh fuck, like it's gonna go down, and then it's
because you see the cowboy Antifa guy.
Yeah, and then like a knock on the door, they open, they're like, oh, like hey, but insert character name here.
Yeah,
it's the fiance. It's the Tom Cruise guy.
It's not the fiance.
It's the brother or something.
No, it's the guy
Robbie.
Guy that the fiance
Robbie.
knows.
Okay, right, Robbie.
He's a friend who has never been seen
Never
before.
shown on screen.
Correct.
Up
And now
until
it's
that
like,
very
hi,
moment.
I'm your friend Robbie.
Correct.
And then the fiance
Is also
from the
with
beginning is
Robbie.
also with this gang that includes the cowboy hat guy that
Yes.
shot their little sister
Yes.
and precipitated this
And his
violent,
minions.
and then
killed his father.
And then a guy with a like messy pixie cut.
Yes. And then one other guy, and then again, they go upstairs for some reason, and there's a fight with someone who I don't know what was.
There's a guy hiding in a closet when they got there,
Yeah.
and then he attacks the fiance, and they have a fight,
Yes.
and he kills him.
The fiance kills him.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they go back downstairs, and there's a long conversation that none of us are going to remember.
The main thing is that the fiance girl, the sister, is pissed at the fiance for going with the Marauders.
With the Marauders. And then,
And more confusingly is that even though our scene ended with both him and the mom, Kevin Sorbo's wife, in custody, when she's like, "Where's my mom?" He's like, "I don't know."
I thought that was a different. I'm not trying to be funny. I thought that was a different brother or fiance.
No,
I really
No,
think
it was
in
him.
the beginning he was skinnier and
No.
no, I'm not kidding. I thought that was that wasn't the same guy.
it was.
I don't think it was.
No, they were both being held by the Bosworth and the
Really?
cowboy hat guy.
Okay.
He got like pistol whipped.
But we never know, like, there is so much in this scene that drives me insane, including, like, why is the cowboy hat guy, like, ride or die for Brian Bosworth? Like, what is there? Like, Brian Bosworth is just, like, a local drunk idiot with a dead daughter. And he's like, well, I'm the evil gun guy. Of course I'll work for Brian Bosworth. But it's like, he has no power over the cowboy guy, but the cowboy guy is somehow, like, in his charge.
Yeah.
But also,
the cowboy guy has a posse. He should be in charge.
Right. But the other thing that drives me, like, makes this scene even more madness-inducing, the fiance fight is, like, their verbal altercation is like if dogs had language but still got mad at each other over the same stuff.
Yes.
You were looking at the stick that I smelled first. It's that, like, level of human conflict.
We had this is when we really started to be like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
I was like, seriously,
who are these people?
I'm dissociating right now. and that's
the reason that they're mad at each other is nonsense. It's nonsense.
At the end
And
of this,
then Robbie tries to defend himself against her, saying, "We're doing what we have to do to survive." And then this other Will Poulter-looking motherfucker starts talking. It's like, who the hell let this guy in here?
Yes.
Like, they literally will just pan, and there's a new guy.
and at the end of the scene, after all this arguing that we really didn't follow, it's the fiance. At that time, I didn't know who he was, but now it's like we have these categories. He's the fiance character, and he's a bad actor, it goes without saying, and he's like straining his face, and he just looks really upset because of whatever just transpired, and he just looks like he's straining and in pain. And Felix is over here just like, I just want to know who I am. and it was just at all times, if you projected your own confusion onto the characters, it actually kind of worked.
Yeah, no, that then it becomes probably the best movie I've seen in a while.
like these people are all
just, like,
distressed because they don't know anything. They're completely disoriented.
He's like, am I the brother or am I the fiance? When is anyone going to
Please
explain
tell me if I'm your husband.
Just, please, what is my name? Give me that little kindness.
Yes.
Am I the uncle or the nephew?
Yeah.
What am I?
So that was
It's funny because like after in me trying to remember it, like after the house scene where it's just like all logic broke down, we were like who am I? like who what are we seeing?
That is.
We all felt very second administration Reagan.
If they set out to make a movie about like 85 IQ like normie Christians who like forget who they're related to or who they're married to or whatever, that's genius.
I felt that way.
I felt that.
I
yeah.
feel like every scene in this movie took place in a car that had a running, or in a garage that had a running car in it.
Yes.
Like it's slowly carbon monoxide.
You're like,
poison.
well,
I seriously I don't even remember what happens in the movie after.
Okay,
that.
so they split up. The Marauders leave, and the fiance goes with, and Robbie stays with the Marauders.
We shouldn't even try to disentangle the
All right,
Robbie.
they split up.
Yeah.
But then they end up fighting again.
Yes.
They like go out and try to stalk them and stop them,
Yeah.
and then they have a shootout.
But there's a lot of, really the rest of the movie is a lot of introspective character work because they're preparing. The family is preparing in some way, shape, or form to confront these marauders again. I think in Bosworth, and we don't see Bosworth for a really long time. So he's this looming. He's like Jaws. You know he's going to come back, and then you're like, okay, you don't show him till the third reel. That's fine. But that's where we get a lot of cool stuff. Where a lot more boring theological stuff. And the YouTube star actress singing a lot.
Yeah, that's why I thought she must be like a Disney Channel girl or something. Because it just stopped for her to sing by the fire.
Yeah,
like Elvis. I want
to talk a little bit about that character because to me she was like. Every time she was on screen or talking, it was like she was from a different movie.
Yes.
And it's like she looks different than all the other rest of the family.
Yes.
She's clearly, I guess, another sister.
Yeah.
But she has this like she's younger but has this like wizened. She's like
she's like a crone.
Like she's
like a young crone.
And she's always just like saying like what's important is that like we love God. Like, belief comes from love. And like love, God is love.
Yes.
And then she just spitting truths and singing like, you know.
And then she'll get all crotchety like an old like a prospector fishwife or something. And she's like,
at one point she's like, don't give me none of your sass.
Yeah, don't give me none of that sass back.
And it's just, you don't really understand her dynamic with everybody else, but she's supposed to be something.
Her relationship to the other characters.
Don't know.
But in fairness, the other sister, at one point she's like, I won't forgive. Forgiving is different than accepting or something. But then at the end, she's telling someone else like, don't you understand? It's what I've been telling you this whole time. You have to forgive. And it's like, I thought you were the one struggling with forgiveness. The only one who makes any sense is the pissed brother.
The pissed brother has a consistent through line. He is pissed at God, and he shows his pissed at God by shooting at the sky.
He gets so mad.
They are in a post-apocalypse. Bullets are more valuable than fucking gold.
Yes.
And he's just, every time he like stubs his toe, he just like lets off a couple shots at Earth. Like, God damn you into the air.
It reminded me of the 13 Hours movie where there's the shot of the Libyans shooting the American flag, just like meaninglessly, just being like, where he just keeps going like,
God, you
every
piece
time
of shit.
something bad happens to him.
You magnificent son of a, you feckless thug.
Yeah. This guy.
That was the Christian version of Bartlett in the National Cathedral.
Yep.
He was doing Richard Dawkins to the sister.
Yeah. And I thought, honestly, I mean, obviously I'm biased because I am an atheist. I thought he had the better of that argument. His criticism to me was more persuasive.
No, it wasn't really a question.
She just went back to the old Christian the fact that it doesn't make sense is why it's true. You know, that kind of thing.
Yes.
It's like, well, fine. That you either have the hole in your, there's like a crease in your brain that makes that make sense to you, or there isn't. There's nothing else to be done.
There's one other scene.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's a big pile of just similar stuff. But there's the flashback.
Yeah.
All right. So this is when we find out.
The dream sequence. Forget.
Oh yes.
There's a dream sequence where the fiance.
There's a third act of this movie. And there's a dream sequence and a flashback.
Oh, there's a lot of
back to back.
Chris, you have not seen enough Christian movies.
So it's like the fiance is sleeping by the campfire, and she has a dream of her and the fiance's sister and the fiance getting married. Madness room.
Yes,
dude. Like,
it's their wedding.
Yeah, it's their wedding.
It's soft focus.
For some reason, it
looks like an all-black
commercial.
Church. Yes,
and
so there's a black gospel singer belting out a tune. There's a black minister
marrying them.
If anyone remembers when Jimmy Scott in Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is inexplicably suddenly in a room and starts singing, it was a lot like that, where you feel like you're in the Black Lodge, where like they're getting married, and then the camera just pans over, and there's this singer, and she's got a mic, and it's just like the scene takes
and
you.
They have a weird dialogue where like, he's like, "Do you love me?" And like, she's like, "Well, we're getting married, I guess." And like, Felix, I think at that point you were like, "Will you be my girlfriend?"
It was one of the holiest ceremonies in evangelical Christianity, the girlfriend ceremony.
Yes,
she has, to the untrained heathen eye, it looks like a wedding dress, but that's a girlfriend dress.
Yes.
And
then inexplicably the cowboy Antifa
guy shows up to shoot them, and she wakes up.
And she goes, "Oh no!" So there's some kind of haunting thing coming at them.
Like what's coming to a head is the older sister and brothers. She is standing up for faith and also kind of nonviolence and not picking up a weapon in anger. Like,
and he is literally trying to kill God.
Yes,
he's a badass.
He is trying to shoot God with a gun.
In his defense, also like defend them from marauding, roving gangs of like
from 50-year-olds. One of whom dies every time they run into this family that's half children.
Yes,
half like preteen children. Like one 50-year-old, heavily armed 50-year-old just fucking perishes.
And they're not
every
even
time
getting shot. They're like going down from deep vein thrombosis and shit.
Yeah, they're getting killed horribly by America's dumbest family.
They're like, as soon as the firefight starts, like, oh crap, I forgot to wear my airplane socks.
I knew I should have worn my magnetic bracelet today.
As they get, riddled with arrows, shot by a 12-year-old.
Wait. There's just one thing, because it's significant. It's significant for the end is that during one of their big debates, she's giving the Dinesh D'Souza God arguments to his fallacies from the atheist side, and he's carving, and he's like, "Fuck you," and he's talking about God sucks, and then it pans out after they're done, and he's carved Y into a tree, which will be important just aesthetically for the end of the.
And then shortly after that, while they're all just milling, there's a whole bunch after this where they're just milling around in the camp,
a
and
lot
vaguely
of that.
trying to like hunt down the cowboy guy.
Or they have to move camp as well. That's
And we got a flashback.
Oh no, they have to move camp because there is a baffling scene where the fiance is sleeping and someone takes their bug out bag.
Oh yeah, someone sneaks in and steals their bag.
I don't think it ever tells you who she has an insane argument with the man fiance where she's like
the nephew husband.
The nephew husband fiance where she's like, you wanted to hang out with Robbie and now we're missing our bags, and he's like, I know one thing's for certain. If somebody took our bags, they know where you are. And then she's like, I agree, we have to go. And he goes, well, you're forgiven for suspecting me.
And I don't think it's ever determined who took the bag.
It's not.
It is that scene, that remembering that scene, there are many things in this movie that preclude me from ever like having a good life ever again. And that scene is like near the top. Just, a woman could tell me she loves me. I could see my own child be born. I could see like just any amount of closure, any milestone in life, and I will be thinking, who took the bags? Why was that in the movie?
Felix seemed to be around that point. He's like, this movie was written by 13-year-old Macedonian children in some weird, farm, data farm.
Yeah. Like it's on Craigslist that you can hire.
Yes.
I make big movie.
We're at the end
we
now.
We are approaching the actual
All right.
thing, the actual revelation that this movie.
Yeah. So the
contains.
flashback is the thing that caused the initial argument because they got a gun for the younger brother. Is we flash back to when the younger brother is like 5 with his twin sister who is dead, Becca, the one she's pining for, and the older sister, the fiance sister, is also there, looking.
I'm struggling. I've seen the movie and I'm struggling.
I mean, I don't hate to say this about a child, but beat.
Yeah,
a quite unattractive little gremlin child.
This was when Matt said this, and I overheard him. I called him a goblin for saying this.
he was talking about you, not the kid.
I heard him say goblin. I thought you were talking about her.
No, he was talking
about you.
It's you, dude. You're the goblin.
When I heard you say goblin, I'm like, exactly. She's a fucking goblin.
In bed with a goblin.
This movie destroyed all of our humanity.
Yeah. It was
in bed with a goblin. So we find out that the source of all this trauma is that while these kids are playing in the house, their dad,
This is a flashback.
Their dad left a fucking pistol in a holster on the fucking table.
Yes.
And the little kid took it and shot
the
his sister. The brother took it and accidentally shoots his sister while the other sister watches.
Yes.
And then it's about how the guilt, and it's all about how this, like, the brother has such bad guilt and the sister has a hard time forgiving him. Meanwhile, no one is talking about the fact that the father should be in fucking prison
in any other
for
movie,
allowing that to happen.
In any other movie, that scene, the way it's shot, the way it all goes down, would be in a movie stringently arguing for gun control and how guns are not something that we should have.
Instead, Sorbo leaves the gun out, which, like, all these gun nuts are always saying, like, if you're a responsible gun owner,
right?
They always fixate on like trigger discipline and stuff like that. Yeah. And this guy is like supposed to be Mr. NRA. He's member of an NRA type group that they like conspicuously show
his wallet.
Yeah. He just leaves a fucking gun out, and the kid dies, which you should go to prison for. Conservative people say you should be throw the book. And not only does he not go to jail, he apparently has no guilt. Yeah. And all the tension is about, like, if he forgive his son.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, then when he turns 21, he buys him a fucking rifle.
Buys him a mass shooter weapon.
Psychopath.
Like, he also, the pistol was was in an ankle holster, and he was in his scrubs when he came home, which means like when he was doing surgeries, he's all day. He's like, what if I need my gun in the OR?
What if the film John Q breaks out?
Yeah.
Which marks the second movie in a row we reviewed in which somebody has brought a gun into a hospital as a major plot point.
It's a flashback to that.
I want to get to like so. Then at some point, Brian Bosworth like gets to drop on the family, and they overcome him, and
they tie him up,
and another raider. Like so, like basically the movie is converging like two philosophical points. The older sister who clings very closely to faith and says that like no matter what, like a food that is stolen is worse than food that is like poisoned. I don't know. I think Adam said that or something.
Adam Friedland.
But she holds close to the Bible and Jesus, but also like not using guns and killing people. And the brother who's mad at God because of all these terrible things that have happened, but is practical, realistic, and believes that firearms. Like there are bad people with firearms. Like you need to have firearms to protect yourself from the roving, the murder and rape gangs.
Right.
You know, like to be honest, he has a point.
He has a more persuasive argument.
Yeah. And then they have Bosworth tied up, and he wants to kill him, and he's like, he killed Dad, and that's true. He literally murdered their father.
Right, and then this is where we learn the payoff of the faith. His child,
like the youngest daughter, the one. That,
Okay,
I don't get this.
Speak on this, Matt.
I still don't understand this. So he's tied up, Bosworth is tied up to a tree. They're all arguing about whether to kill him. And then Faith, the little girl, comes out of the tent.
This is just to be clear. Faith is the youngest sister
daughter
of the family.
And remember, earlier in the movie, Bosworth, after the accident, was going, "My faith, my faith."
Right. So we're like, is that his daughter?
So we had a hard time thinking of this, and I think that my initial theory was that. Was after I saw the fantasy, the superimposition.
Yes.
That he like identified her as his daughter and tried to get her back, even though she wasn't.
Like he hallucinated her as his own daughter.
Also, the evidence was so thin that the other thought was, well, maybe the daughter, like he had to give her up because she was in a car accident and they adopted her and it was his actual daughter.
Yeah.
He had to go to jail. So I was assuming that like he was a drunk shitheel who went to nearly killed his daughter and went to jail. And Kevin Sorbo, being the good surgeon and Christian father, like adopted her.
Yeah, but then it gets really confusing because she comes out of the tent, sees him, he freaks out. It's like Faith, and she's like, she starts talking to him, saying, "Oh, Father, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault."
Yeah,
but then you think, no, wait a minute, she would have been a baby. She would not remember him. And then you realize, that apparently that is a hallucination.
Okay.
And his daughter did die. Her being named Faith is a coincidence because he lost his faith.
But she looks just like the daughter he had.
Whose name was not Faith. He lost his faith when the first daughter died.
Right.
I still don't get it.
I don't get it.
It's very hard to understand.
It's like the Martha moment in Batman versus Superman.
Why'd you say that name? Yeah.
Martha.
Yeah. No,
Martha.
It was baffling.
Yeah, I still don't understand that.
Okay, like I said earlier, the
much
movie,
of this film we must pass over in silence.
I'm getting to the act of revelation. So like here's how I'm going to introduce it. It's like much of this movie is defined by like the philosophical split in the movie between the sister who loves God and wants to like follow His law but hates guns, and the brother who's very angry at God but understands that guns are like a necessary tool to protect yourself and family, especially in some kind of apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
So there needs to eventually be like in this movie, like the dialectic must be resolved. Correct. In that like how can we both love God but also love firearms and the use of lethal force to protect our property and our family.
It's a tough one,
right?
Yes.
How does this movie resolve this?
Oh,
okay. Eventually, you find out that the mother is still alive. She shows up at a very, a crucial point of the movie.
She's nearby when they have bombs.
Again, like most of this movie was filmed in someone's backyard, and it's like taking place within about like a half-mile square radius, The mother saves her. Is like, I'm here, like I'm back, everybody, and no one, at no point are any of the kids like, where were you?
Yeah,
like
how'd you get away? You were captured by the cowboy. Okay.
But like I said, how's the movie bring together? How do we love God? How do we love and still use guns? The movie resolves it by the sudden appearance very late in the movie of it's basically like if Cormac McCarthy's Judge Holden were two people who were brothers. And these characters show up in the movie, and we are all just like eyes open. Like they're identical twin. Clearly, in the universe of this movie, these must be people that they presume the audience will know.
Oh yeah, it's a total. It is an absolute.
Should I hold off?
Wait,
Should I hold off?
I just want to get to this.
No, we'll explain it.
I just want to explain. Well, like they immediately show up and they just start like doing gags.
Yeah,
like
doing
just doing
riffs.
bits at each other.
Doing brother humor.
They do
brother
humor. I
humor.
would describe it as like, it's like their brother bits are like, it's like if a Christian was like, it's Christian vaudeville.
Yeah,
where they're like the bit, like the first bit we see, like the one brother has like a belt of shotgun ammo across like a bandolier. And he's like, well, nice Christmas lights there, brother number one. And he's like, well, God, it would be Christmas if I didn't see you every day. Like, it's just dog shit. It's terrible, and it never stops. It's a constant patter. It's like it is this green.
They're all ripped. They have like blonde, crispy highlights. They're like fucking conservative Krasenstein.
Yeah. They're very. They're like almost identical. They're very unnerving to look at.
Oh, it's hard to look
they're
at.
Large. They have like the fast haircuts,
idiot grins.
I think
and then
they were
they're awful
special
fucking
effect.
humor.
So we were like, are these like MMA fighters or something? And then like, I was like, no, like these have to be like famous troops or something.
Yeah.
So Felix, unlock the
You looked
game.
it up.
Unlock
Because
it.
for a moment, the terrifying moment, and I actually joked about this on the way, I said, we're going to try to find who they are. Like, we're going to scroll IMDb, and they're not going to be there. And we're going to, like, look for reviews. And like, where are they talking about the twins? And somebody who's seen the movie goes, there weren't any twins in that movie.
Which is before Felix reveals it, is just that not only are they like a yuck moment, it's that at that point, the movie has become very tragic.
Yeah.
And they're standing over like the dead body of one of the other marauders.
Yeah.
And the twins they show up and they're like, hi, Mom. And then she's flanked by the twins and they go, we're the good guys.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And then there's this kind of like yuck energy.
Yeah, one of them goes, this is my brother Steve, and I'm his older brother, 2 minutes older. And I'm smart, and I'm a genius, and I'm so nice. And he's like, oh, brother, can you get a load of this guy?
And then like as they're doing the yuck 'em up routine, grave strings start to rise about the challenge ahead. But then they're still on, and it's like the mom like getting ammo. But then they're still on camera going like, I just wish my dumb brother would leave the toilet seat down more often. But the music is evil sounding, and they're doing jokes, and it just throws you completely off.
It is like Hideo Kojima should watch this scene.
It is
because it's like it's the most unnerving thing we've ever seen. But
okay,
all right. So I just want to like the quickest stat check. Chris, you have the most sanity points out of any member of our party right now. Second most at 1 is Will. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Oh no. I don't know if I'm
The
ready.
Benham brothers have,
God.
have co-authored 3 books: Whatever the Cost, Living Among Lions, and Miracle in Shreveport. I am so not done yet. They are the founders of Benham Real Estate Group in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Benham brothers are outspoken Christians. Their dad is Flip Benham, who is one of the founders of a precursor group to Operation Rescue. And they are former minor league baseball players.
Wait, were they ever operators or like in the military or anything?
No.
Oh my God. The minor league was there, fucking Afghanistan, okay?
Oh God.
Oh my
That's
God.
Not disappoint.
They probably financed this fucking thing.
Maybe.
What did they write? What the fuck were those books about?
We're going to need the synopsis. Definitely Miracle in Shreveport.
Miracle in Shreveport is... Okay, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
The fairgrounds field in Shreveport, Louisiana could be summed up in 2 words for the Benham brothers. Joy and a dream.
That's 3 words.
That dream brought them to the pinnacle of success and the lessons of failure, both in professional baseball and in a multi-million-dollar business.
In the multi-million-dollar business?
In a multi-million.
Oh, okay.
I'm like tripping over these because I have 0 sanity points. Yeah. But it was a certain childhood dream and an eventual experience in a beat-up stadium in Shreveport that could only be described as a miracle. Though many years have passed, the testimony of this miracle has given the brothers strength to continue living boldly for their faith. Many of you know the Benham brothers from their time oh my God.
Wait.
You guys need a gut check.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Many of you know the Benham brothers from the time they got fired by HGTV.
Oh fuck! I think I remember this. They were like doing anti-LGBT comments or something, and they got canned. They had like a Reno show or something.
They thought a new show with a major network was their chance to do something great for God, something that could influence culture for good. Then the rubber met the road, and they refused to compromise their principles. That's when they got the heave-ho and lost the show.
So these guys are famous.
Getting thrust into a media controversy was not exactly what they had in mind for their lives, but God was working behind the scenes.
Nice.
And they knew they could trust him because they had seen him work on their behalf before. The brothers drew strength from an earlier time where God stepped in, peeled back the curtain, and showed his divine hand working in ways that blew their minds.
Is this the book?
So these guys
your character sheet, toss them.
So they're
insolvable character.
So they are famous. Not only did they have a show on HGTV, but they were martyrs. They were like they're like Chick-fil-A people.
Holy shit!
That
All right.
makes sense.
So again,
I'm wiping
imagine
away
at the
tears.
end of this movie, like the drama's at this highest. Like essentially, the piss brother has like got his leg caught in a bear trap.
Yes.
And the bad marauders are like, well, like you want to join our gang? Like
the cowboy
now
guy.
you can't.
Yeah.
Because
And then Robbie tries to defend him from the cowboy, and then the cowboy murders Robbie.
Yeah.
And he's about to murder Piss Brother when the fucking the Bobbsey twins and the mom and everyone else finds them. And they get into a shootout.
Yeah,
And
but
most
then the
importantly-
cowboy gets
most
hit by a bow and
most
arrow.
importantly, the fiance's sister, in conjunction with one of the Benham brothers, snipes two of the marauder party at the same time. They're like, we have to place both of our shots at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she pulls the trigger to defend her brother's life.
Oh right, yes,
overcoming
of course.
her
She
fear.
does a murder.
She overcomes her fear, and she takes a life.
And it's like
she takes a life.
She synthesized it. A gun-toting Christian.
Right.
Getting rid of all that, turn the other cheek.
God's
bullshit.
guns and grits and gravy.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, like just try to imagine at this point in the movie, these two characters show up out of nowhere. You're like, hey, it's the Benham brothers, the guys from HDTV.
Yeah.
Which to me, they appeared on screen as like I said, kind of like if Judge Holden were split in the middle, and like
Just
sprouted into
vile
two
harbingers.
who were like grinning maniacally. It's
Oh,
like,
God. Death hilarious.
Well, because I don't know.
kids, we're the good guys, and then at some point they reveal we're from the only city left that works. That's like fighting back against the gun disarmaments or confiscations. Or,
They say
he
we're
says-
the deputies.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
of where?
Yeah,
I thought that
yeah.
civilization is gone. What are you
Okay,
a
no,
deputy
here's what
of?
happens. The final Antifa cowboy villain gets like shot through with an arrow, and then it turns out it's Brian Bosworth.
He had escaped while they were arguing, and then got the bow and arrow. And
And-
instead of trying to kill them, he saved them by killing the cowboy.
and he's like redeemed.
Yes,
like
yes.
and they, like he
and
says,
they forgive him, and they finally do forgive him, even including Piss Brother forgives him. Like he doesn't.
And
then the fucking deputies say, "Yeah, well, you might be forgiven, but you still got to go to jail. We're taking you to trial."
Yeah.
And we're like, "It's been established that society has collapsed. What trial are you talking about?"
Correct.
Brother
and,
court.
And brother court.
Yeah, we
Also-
said they were going to have him in brother court.
Also, like-
I sentence you to a purple nurple and doing that spit thing where I suck it in right before I put it in your face.
also they make clear that there's like no government. It's just total anarchy, like lawless state of all against all. But then they're like, yeah, like we're fighting back against the gun buyback program that's going on. And it's just like, wait,
No,
who's
they
doing
said
this?
confiscation.
Confiscation.
He said that for literally two lines of dialogue in a row. They say, "What is it like out there?" And one of the brothers say, "It's anarchy.
Yeah.
Just everything's falling apart. It's just chaos." And we're trying to fight it. And they say another sentence, and he goes, "But we're coming together, and we're fighting against the tyranny and the gun confiscations."
Yeah.
It's like, how could that be if
And
it's
then-
fucking anarchy?
as they're bringing him, kind of like they're cuffing him or whatever. Bosworth is going through this, redemption mode where he's like, I was wrong before, and now I'm going to have to repay for my sins. He says, repay. And I swear to God, it's just like in that moment, I don't know if it happened or if I imagined it, but the brothers are like, one of them's like, I just wish my dumb brother would repay the $5 you owe me the other day. And it's just like, again, just tonally everywhere all at once at all times. And
it is genuinely macabre in a deep way.
They take him to the lake.
They go down to the river to pray.
Yes.
And both one of the Benham brothers then baptizes in what looks like to be like the runoff from like a hog lagoon.
Yes.
The dirtiest body of water in America.
No, the fucking we forgot this. The fucking fiance died.
Oh yeah, the fiance. Oh yeah, he dies.
By the way, he was injured in a way that none of us saw. He fought Brian Bosworth, and they never showed him getting injured. And then he's like suffers, and then he dies.
Yeah.
So
the fiance, by the way, meets one of the most common Christian fates. Dying at age 34, having never had sex, but having dated a woman for the past 15 years.
Correct.
And Matt, you said that's how Tim Tebow is going to go.
no, dying out a virgin in the woods. Just that's how Tim Tebow will die. So it's so the property brother baptizes he baptizes Brian Bosworth, then he baptizes the piss brother, who now has a significant leg wound and is like limping in. And you look at this disgusting hog runoff and like sulfur. It's like he's not gonna die. He's gonna have
wound.
He's gonna have like fucking
sepsis.
Galloping. He's gonna get that like the flesh eating bacteria and be dead in 2 days.
They do him.
So
and then
I just like one detail. Like and then like you're hearing in the background like as their heads are dunked in the hog feces and the industrial waste. Like what I assume is like a popular like Christian radio hit.
Yeah.
It's like, you
some
lift me
bullshit.
up is probably the
whatever.
name of it or something. Like,
you give me energy.
yeah, you give me
call
energy.
that.
You give me energy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
oh my God. Yeah. Original Curve Boys.
Yeah.
Original.
Yeah.
OGs
OG.
only. So one more detail about the baptism scene. One of the cursed brothers is baptizing them in this unholy ritual of consecrating this darkness. And then the other brother, all the younger, the other second tier children and sisters, and now the mother, and I don't know, like another fiance, who fucking knows?
Yeah.
They're all smiling from the bank, seeing like, "Ha, great, this is great."
Yeah.
The other cursed brother is standing behind them, laughing with a dumbass grin on his face. But in front of him, he's got a bandolier of shotgun shells and one of those like drum-fed automatic shotguns.
Yeah.
Just like tapping on.
Yeah,
it,
just
this
like
is great.
Yucking it up.
No sudden movements, everybody.
And it's like there is the message of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that is the synthesis.
The armed
about,
family is the happy family.
Correct.
Yeah, like it's just like it's about love, but it's also about guns too. You can't have one
You
without
can't
the
have.
other.
That's what it's saying. It's like love doesn't mean anything if you can't defend it.
And the
with
other
guns.
half of the synthesis happens,
But-
which is that the brother goes down.
But
again.
also importantly, like the other half of that is like having guns without loving God is also bad because that's
Exactly.
like then you're a bad person with a gun,
Yeah.
which is bad. That leads to the
Right.
Cormac
Jesus
McCarthy
and the gun
murder
need to
cannibal
be-
gangs.
Yeah. Consecrated
you're
together.
wearing the bad type of beanie. You're just being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Being a
This
bad
is-
guy right down.
Yeah.
This is some Protestant shit right here. This
Yes.
is like the high test stuff.
This is beyond Protestant.
Yeah.
This is beyond like.
Oh, by the way,
level,
you never see Eric Roberts again in this movie.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right.
This is beyond like any type of human understanding.
We stumbled out of the
Yeah,
theater.
Oh yeah,
we-
we were blinking into the light. We were slurring our words.
Yes.
I've never felt more disoriented, but I gotta say, like, new respect for Christians. Like,
Yes.
if they're gonna go this crazy.
Oh yeah.
It was like being put in the dirty, filthy, weird water that they
Yeah.
had in
Yeah.
the movie and
We've
coming
all
up and
been
being like, I feel
baptized.
transformed.
We are all born again
Absolutely.
in the light.
Christians, if they continue getting this insane and they can use this movie to radicalize the entire flock, evangelicals may be able to through sheer fervor. It's definitely not through technology. It's definitely not through like actual combat know-how, but like through sheer will and sheer like alteration of reality, we'll be able to take on China.
And Islam, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Islam. Like this is the only way they can do it is if they change reality. But it looks like they're into that.
Yeah,
idea.
no, they're bending
And
the curve.
It's also kind of an interesting aesthetic argument because it's so powerful, but unlike an ISIS video, which is very slick and like Michael Bay-ish,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that we know that they study those films because
Oh,
they
yeah.
want to make it look cool. This was more powerful, even though it had very, very incompetent filmmaking
Oh yeah, yeah,
behind
very
it.
shitty.
And it was
They're
very
the kind of people who
confusing.
want something to look realistic. They just shake the camera back.
Yeah,
and
it
forth.
was Paul Greengrass
I just-
starter kit.
I'm also just struck by like the ultimate, message of this movie is that like even if you're the type of absolute fucking reprehensible fuck that like just like leaves a gun around and then kills one of your children and then like ruins the life of the other, that like the answer is like definitely more guns.
More
and, like,
guns.
just more guns. Like,
Guns are always the answer no matter what happens.
Yeah, just like always be prepared. Well, except for that scenario where your like kid literally died.
Yeah.
And it's also weird that the Piss brother is the most into using guns and like the defensive.
Yeah.
It's like, how is this kid not been like psychologically? When the movie starts out, he just seems like a normal,
He's just a
confident,
totally
happy
normal
kid.
little Bieber.
How in the universe of this movie? Again, it must be a Christian mindset where they're like, if you just got forgiveness,
Losses
you
and
love,
lessons.
you love Jesus. How could you psychologically get over murdering your twin sister
Because
as a child?
It's like the opening of
You're
Halloween.
redeemed.
Yeah.
That scene where it's just like he's like,
Yeah.
and you see it from his point of view, and he's like,
Yeah.
here I go. I'm
It's
gonna fucking do
redemption,
it.
baby. It's American Christianity. It's American Protestantism.
Yeah.
Like the dad is
it's
cool with it?
everything.
He says
comes
like
up
in a way
roses.
that you would say about like, we were late for school. He's like, it was my fault.
Yeah.
The only one who's not cool with it or has any lingering trauma from it is the
The
older
sister.
sister, and it's manifested that she's not comfortable or cool with guns. But she comes around at the end of the movie
Exactly.
to learn the lesson
the help
that
of
like
the
yes, you
demonic
can take
brothers.
the life
Yep.
of like just as easy as just
Yeah.
breathing, or taking
Which
a shit.
is very,
Like,
very. That's very clear from the original text. Jesus loved that shit.
Yes.
Jesus loved murking people.
But I think that's what was so powerful about it is that we had a film where it's super Christian. Its ideology is right there on the table, and it has a scene where a child kills another child because of rampant, like irresponsible gun ownership. And this moral of the story is still
More guns,
and
not
like,
just
it
guns.
confronts it.
Consecrated guns, like guns that like have been prayed over.
Yeah.
God, I mean, I'm out of thoughts. on this
yeah,
movie.
I'm
no.
spent.
I gotta go back home and
I just
try to
gotta say-
re-roll my character sheet.
I was gonna say real quick though. I just want to give a shout out. That was The Reliant, directed by Paul Munger,
Yep.
written and produced by J.P. Johnson, starring Eric Roberts, Kevin Sorbo, Brian Bosworth, Ryan Bugle, Molly Gray, Julia Denton, Jen Gottson Chandler, Josh Murray. He was Adam, the fiance.
Oh, nice.
McKenna Blintz. McKenna
Whoa.
Blintz. Tyler Sanders,
Off with
Marissa,
these
Line
names.
Hampton, Kevin Wayne. I don't remember any of
Damon
these people.
Wayans.
Benham Brothers, again, not included on the IMDb page. So
What's a treat?
They don't want you solving the mystery.
They don't want you knowing this. Like the revelation that they're out there and that they exist
Right now.
These two brothers, they're dancing. They're laughing always, and like they're not on
They
IMDb.
say that they will never die.
They will never die. They're out there right now.
They're a great favorite.
in a car together, like the Terminator, just scanning the night, coming towards you.
And
no
doing-
matter where you are,
doing
it's like
amazing riffs, amazing brother riffs
It's like
the
It
entire
Follows.
time.
They could be across the country, but they're driving exactly straight towards you right
And
now.
when they kill you, they will be riffing.
Yeah,
and they're doing
The last words you hear in your head will be like,
oh.
wow, nice murder. I wish you had better aim in the toilet."
Yeah.
Oh well, wow! You sure kept a clean blood spill. Well, shucks, I'd rather spill blood than spill a few words with you.
Yep. That's the last thing you're going to hear
Yeah.
as your vision goes to a
Annihilated.
pinprick and the eternal night takes hold.
Yes.
So there you go. The Reliant.
How many bags of popcorn?
5-bagger.
Just yeah.
Fives and two bags of soda.
I'm going five ba-
and one of those like many-sided die to roll. For
Yes,
all
for the
sanity
reality
points
that you're
like,
dealing with. And for,
that,
yes.
like, obliterated.
For your insanity.
Again, character sheets destroyed. See you next week as the different person.
All right,
Bye.
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 Let's go.
Every day is just another chance. You can do evil as long as you come right back. Forgiveness is how the angels dance. It doesn't matter if you were born here in Iraq. You are the best of me. You give me energy. Once I was lost lose our breath every time we hiccup. Here's the fistful of uppers when we crash. He will pump your stomach if you swallow sin for